peace, and love, Soul Tribe. Oh my goodness, this was a time today. This was a time. I need to breathe deep. I need to breathe deep. The show was trying to be blocked by some outside, sources. But we are here. We are here. We are here. And I am excited for that. So if anyone is in the chat or have joined, can you let me know? Can you hear me? I want to make sure that this microphone is working correctly and that you can hear me. So if you can say, I can hear you in the chat, that'd be wonderful. So can you guys hear me? Let me know. Type it up for me. If not, I will disconnect this thing and just speak to you regularly through the microphone. So can you guys hear me? Can someone say, yes, I can hear you? Anybody in the chat? No? Yes. Peace. Okay, good. Everyone can hear. Okay, awesome. Thank you, Sister Queen. Thank you. Woo! I'm like, I went to go do live on Facebook and it was like, your account has been locked due to some suspicious account activity. I'm like, okay. I don't know what suspicious activity it was, probably just because I'm posting all this positive, good energy. And you know how those soulless ones be trying to shut us down, all those that's trying to put that goodness out there. And it's so funny because today's topic is all about let your heart not be troubled. So it was trying to be a little troubled. It was trying to trouble me a little bit, but we made it through, and that's all that counts. So let's get out all those pleasantries for those that are just joining. I'm like, peace and blessings, and welcome to Mindfulness Mondays. This show is all about being mindful. And what does that mean? Being aware of everything, your thoughts, your feelings, oh my gosh, your emotions, your mannerisms, what you say, what you see at all times and moment by moment. So it is just a having of self-awareness. Yes, self-awareness. So for all of those that have missed any of the segments, of course, you're already here. So you see them all at the bottom there. Just click on them. It's good stuff. Really, really great information for all those that are seeking a little more clarity in so many different aspects, or just if you want to just understand what mind is, you know what I mean, and how to gain that self-awareness. I draw each and every week these lovely little beauties here, these self-mastery cards, and they just explain to you how to master certain aspects of self, or all the aspects of self, really. And then I pull, where's my handy dandy other little power cards. And these beauties have all the things in which we have the power to do, which is cooperate, pack it up, withdraw, discern, all those beautiful things that we think we have no power, the power to tolerate, which to me is one of the most powerful powers, which I did a segment on what it means to tolerate, which just means the allowing of others to be who they are. Yeah. So I tell people, like, listen, someone is tolerating you for as wonderful and as grand as you believe you are. Somebody is not thinking so much. You know what I mean? So that outgoing spirit, somebody like, I wish that she or he would be quiet sometimes, So we just have to have, a sense of being able to allow people to be who they are. And like I said, this is Women's Month, right? So, to my sister, sending you an abundance of love. Shout out to all of my divine feminines. Yes. May you continue to walk in your, what did I discuss last week? What was the 3 Ps? Anybody remember what the 3 Ps was from last week? That tuned in? What was the 3 Ps? I think I hear a gift coming. I think I hear a free gift coming for anyone that can tell me what the 3 Ps was from last week. Come on. I'm like, EJ, I know you want it, brother. I know you remember. What was the 3 Ps that we talked about last week for the nerves? That was the nerves topic about what is on your nerves. That was a deep one, right? After we realized that there are 100 billion nerves in the brain alone and 13.9 million in the spinal column. So I told people, like, so the next time you tell somebody, like, you getting on my nerves, it's a little bit deeper than what you think. That's a whole lot of nerves to be getting on. That's a whole lot of nerves for you to allow someone to get on. So that's the other thing that we got to be mindful of, Do you remember? Okay, so no one remembers. It was peace, poise, and power. Remember the three P's. In order for you to have that sense of oneness in life, you must have peace. Peace coming from within. Poise, meaning always aware, right? Having a heaviness. That's it. That's what the root of the word means. If you look it up in etymology, it means heaviness, almost grounded, being one. That's the way that I take it. And of course, when we combine all those things, we have power. Yes, power to manifest and create all that we desire. Right? Whew. And of course, if you are needing of assistance in any of these avenues of self, hit your sister up for a Get Your Mind Right session. Yes, 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 yes. You get a good hour with your sister, and we're going to figure out what it is that you need to release and let go of, which is the raw method. The raw method is what I believe in. Releasing and letting go of what no longer serves you. Accepting your responsibility and holding yourself accountable for your experiences during your journey. And then the W, being able to walk in your authenticity. Yes. All right. So there you have it. Last week, our self-mastery tool was what? Serenity. Serenity. And I couldn't find the card for some reason. I must have hit it, somewhere for myself. But Serenity basically was saying, understanding the difference of what it is that you have to do, what others have to do, and then what all you need to leave up to destiny. Yeah. So it's like, yeah, we talked about what are the things that you have to do. The things that you have to do is what you got to keep that peace. Okay, that's what you have to do. You have to continue to pour into that peace and calm. Okay, keep that poise and definitely always assert your power. And it's not always outwardly, it's just a way of being and understanding that you are not separated from source. You are not separated in any way from anything that is in your surroundings. You are one with everything. You are in constant alignment, with the source and with all things, all beings, everything. So when you realize that you are not separate, that you are whole, always, you are the circle. You are continuously going on. The only time we separate, the only time you become separate is when you say it in your mind. It's when you say that I am this. You make declarations of separation. I am loyal. I am strong. I am this. And you keep separating. What I learned through Kriya Yoga, especially, is that even when you're meditating, you say, I am not the body and I am not the mind. I am not my body and I am not my mind. Because what? You are all. You are a part of source. You are the essence, okay? You are energy, everlasting energy. This vessel, this meat suit, it's just that, okay? You can leave this thing at any time and go get a fresh one and come right on back. Because you are eternal. You are eternal. We get stuck, though, when we get here. We think that this is all we are. We are everything that's encompassing this body, and that's it. No. You are everything that you can imagine. Everything that you see, you are. You are the air, okay? Ever. Just going about, just floating. Ooh, you can be strong. You can be soft, gentle, like that gentle breeze. You are water, ever flowing. Constant. Water is constant. Water is going to get through, right? Water going to make its way through no matter what. It's just going. It don't let anything impede its flow. No matter what, it's going over, it's going under, it's going to the side. It's going to get through. It's going to get through. Yeah. And again, you can be as still as water or you can be as turbulent. You can come in like a tsunami, right? Tsunami on some people. Tsunami those ideas, right? Come in manifesting like a tsunami. I'm like, oh, you are earth. You are earth, ever so grounded, constantly birthing and creating, right? All that you desire. And you birth so many things, right? Look at earth. always nourishing, always giving. That's earth, beautiful, just beautiful. Ooh, I'm just like, and of course, the ever blazing fire that just burns, right? It can be a little, giving just a little bit, or it can be an inferno, just turning it all on full blaze. Fire gonna burn it down. What does it do? Fire changes, actually, right? Fire changes form. Indeed, it can engulf, everything, or it's quiet. It's quiet. It's the renewing. It's renewal as well. Burn away the old, right? So you can bring in the new. So again, we are all of these things. We are the flowers. I'm like, we are even the bed. Because guess what? It was a thought. We created it. So just saying that, just understand that you are not separate from anything. We are all. We are all. We are everything. Okay, so are we ready to dive in? Let's see, checking in with the chat. What you saying here, EJ? Exactly. I had some really negative stuff. Oh, really? You had some negative stuff happening on your page too? Yeah. They keep making all these changes, supposedly. They want to block people, and it's just like, it's all right though, because that's what that means. That that you are doing some greatness, right? So that's how I took it. I said, oh, y'all want to shut this positivity down. We gonna find a way. What? I'm turning into my Walter, and I'm gonna go over. Okay, right? There's always more than one way to skin a cat, even though that's kind of like the worst kind of. I know that. Yeah, I was like, I'm not gonna say that anymore because that is so harmful and hurtful. It's like, why would anyone even say that? I'll take that back. But you guys understand. Okay, I'm heading into this game. Oh, great. The inner intelligence dwelling within. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. It's always going. It's always going. So let's dive into this week. We are talking about the heart, the heart, the heart. And, I always got to go to my facts, my little fun facts. I always got to do a little bit of research for you guys just to give a little background. So sometimes you got to, again, pick a part so that you'll know exactly what it is that you're dealing with. So when you look at this from now on, you're going to see how deep it is, right? So we got a little fun fact. It's like the heart beats 115,000 times a day. 115,000 times a day. And what they say is that in between those beats is information. That's the information that's being passed back and forth to the CNS, which is the central nervous system, which we talked about last week in the nerves, right? So all this is connected. So in between those beats is information being pumped, being pumped, being pumped. So if you think about it, right, 115,000 times a day, if you was to just to tap into, let's just say if you just took a time and you sat and you really got in tune with those beats, right? And you saying every time that you become aware of those beats, you send your own information. I am light. I am love. I am life. I am universe source energy. I am the essence of love. I am the essence of light. I am the essence of divinity, right? I am the essence of grace. I am strong. Just to reaffirm, I am one. I am one with the unity. I am one with my higher self. I am one with all that surrounds me. Imagine if you took the time to sit. And again, that's what I always tell people what meditation is all about. It's really just coming back to center. Coming back to center of who you truly are. Yes, who you truly are, which is a soul. Soul having a human experience. And if you want this experience to be great, you have to start pouring that in, right? Looking at things differently, not separating. I was just reading this book. Oh, it's a great book, Desire, it's called. The Path to Tantra. I love Tantra. Like I said, I've been into Tantra since I was young. Like I said, I'm like, don't tell anybody. But I used to take books from the library when I was little. On Tantra, on all types of things. But but that's how long I've been into it, basically. So but yeah, it was talking about just how not to be separate. And you learn in the Kashmiri, culture that you are one with everything. And that's how you find the pleasure. What ultimate pleasure really is. It's about understanding that you aren't separate and taking that time to feel those little nuances, to really tap into all the senses, to draw from those senses, because you are the senses. You are the senses too. You are the sight, you are the touch, you are the taste, you are the hearing, and touch. That's my love language. Anybody ever took the love language test? Touch is my love language, which makes sense because I am a healer. So my hands, I love touching people. But okay, let's get back to the heart. And it says a woman's heart beats faster than a man's heart, although a man's heart actually weighs 2 to 3 ounces more than a woman's heart. Wonder what that means. Some of you men out there trying to hide that big heart that you have, and you guys have a big heart, which is wonderful. This is wonderful. But ours be a little bit faster because you know what? We got that emotion pushing us always. We got that emotion, so it's like, right? So I'm like, we being a little bit faster over just a little bit. And okay, so it says most heart attacks happen on a Monday. Ooh, it puts another a whole new twist on that. Just another manic Monday. Ooh, remember that song? Don't want to get back Sunday. And I put that post up today about Monday. He's like, Monday sucks, the job sucks, this sucks, that sucks. It's like, no, the complaining sucks. But what doesn't suck is the fact that you can change it all, right? You can change it all. So that makes sense. Most heart attacks happen on a Monday. Wow, because most people are like, oh gosh, I don't even think about Monday. Which people don't even understand. Monday is just another day. It's another day for you to create. It's the start. If we looked at, the Monday, this is the beginning of a new week. Yes. What am I going to create for this week? Woo! Imagine if you woke up in that mindset instead of being like, oh, you already depressing the system. The system don't even have a chance to even wake up and do what it needs to do because you already put in depressive, emotional energy, and now your sympathetic nervous system, which we learned about last week, is depressed. And it's sending all of this depression to the organs, and the organs is like, I'm so sad now. I came on and you wonder why you're lethargic and you're dragging through the day. Because you've depressed the system as soon as it was trying to wake up and get itself together, And then it says Christmas Day is the most common day of the year for heart attacks to occur. And we're going to understand that in a minute as to why that is. But then also, it has something called broken heart syndrome. Broken heart syndrome. And so many of us have heard of that. It's just like when you if you have an elder couple and it's all of a sudden one of them, transcends, and the next thing you know, it's a week later, the other one transcends. It's yeah, because it's that heart connection was so serious. You know what I mean? It's their heart was so broken. So that those stressors and those emotions and those stress receptors was so strong that it literally froze up the heart. And the heart was like, I'm not doing this. I'm out of here too, So let's get into the text. And remember, I don't know if you guys, have you gotten your handy dandy books? Handy dandy, The Science of Mind. Yes. So let's read. The text says, the heart is the center of divine love and perfect circulation. Its action is harmonious, vital, adequate, and complete. There is no false action and no wrong action. The pulsation of life are steady, unceasing, and perfect. Let not your heart be troubled. Isn't that one of the most, I would say, most famous sayings, in that book, the Bible? And it's yeah, don't let your heart not be troubled. Don't trouble that heart. That's one of that is the center. You know what I mean? And it's beating constantly. It's what's responsible for your circulation. It just said keeping the body steady and harmonious, in harmony. So let not your heart be troubled by anything. Love is at the center of man's being, and the calm, continuous pulsations of life are governed by love. So let's just pause there for a minute. The heart is the center of divine love. It's the center of divine love. It's where all of those feelings and those emotions pass through. So it's at the center. It is the love organ. And it sends out its signal to all the rest of the body. So that's why it's like when you're feeling great, you can literally feel that right in the center of your chest, right? It almost feels like a weight. When people are like, oh my gosh, I feel like it's a weight off my what? Off my chest, right? People be like, oh, it's a weight off my chest. Peace and blessings. Good afternoon, Kimberly, Sister Kim. Good afternoon. But yeah, when you feel that like that center, it's like, oh, it's a weight off my chest. So that should say to you, like, wow, okay. The heart really is the center. It really is like the receptor. It's like the brain is the processor, but this is the feeler. This is the feeler here. And it's like, even when you feel sad, what does it feel like? Again, that broken heart. It's like, ooh, you can feel literally the energy in your chest. You feel like your chest concaves, right? Almost like your heart literally like stops. It's like, ooh, yeah, it's the center. And its action is harmonious, vital, adequate, and complete. There is no false action and no wrong action. The pulsations of life are steady, unceasing, and perfect. So again, I'm going back to that pulse, that boom, 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 boom. And if you tuned into that rhythm, like, delicious indeed. Okay, let's read on. Solomon is accredited with many words of wisdom, none of which are more appropriate just here than his admonition. Keep thy heart with all diligence, for out of it are the issues of life. Yes. Keep thy heart with all diligence. What is diligence? That consistency, that constant work at it, right? That steadfastness, that going forward. It's like people say, do your due diligence, do your work, do that good stuff, do what's good. So it's like, do what's good, for the heart. Because what it says, out of all of it comes life's issues. It all pulls from here. Because once that signal hits the amygdala and into the hypothalamus, which we talked about last week, which is what? The control center. And that's what sends out all this. It's like the sending out the signal. Boo, 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 boo. It process. And it's going straight here. Boom. And then from there, it's going to what? Your third brain, which is what? Your gut. The third brain is the gut. So you feel it's like boom, boom, boom. Right? But all of the issues is coming through here. It's like it's the center. The center. So it says, in the days we had no knowledge of whether the emotions should be expressed, repressed, or suppressed. The reference to the heart was hardly as significant as it is today. Now, in the light of experience, there is no question but that anything that touches the sympathetic nature, and remember, last week we talked about the sympathetic nervous system, which is called the what? Does anybody remember? Let's see who was paying attention. What is it responsible for? What did I reference it? Like the what? Anybody remember? Let me see. Am I caught up over here in the chat? Okay, yeah, I am. I'm scrolled all the way down. Does anybody remember what I referenced the sympathetic nervous system to? No? No takers? No takers? No one? I'm like, remember that? The phrase used to be like Bueller? Anyone? Bueller? What movie is that from? Bueller, that's the key word. But the sympathetic nervous system I reference to, as it says, it's like the rever of a car, right? It's when the car, it's like this. So it's like when we get worked up and it's stressed, it's like, boop, boop, boop. Here we go, boop, boop, boop. It's like send it out. It's like emergency. So it gets revved up. And then we have the depressor, which is the PNS, you know what I mean? Nervous system, the paraphenal nervous system, which is like the depressor ones, which is under the autonomic nervous system, which is the one that's just automatic, controls like your breathing, your digestion. They just do what they do. Those nerves, they just do what they do. They don't need nobody's help. They don't need no conscious thought. They don't need us to get us. But again, when it comes down to our emotions, when that sympathetic nervous system gets revved up, the other parts get shut down. Your digestion actually stops. It actually ceases. And then sometimes you feel like what, you can't breathe. Like you're like, oh my God, I can't breathe because the lungs shut down and everything. So it's like we have to be mindful of these things. We're causing all this chaos when we get angry, when we're getting upset, we get revved up. So that's why we have to be so mindful about what we are perceiving, what we are receiving. And again, we talked about that last week from our environment. Even our environment, people feel like some things is harmless. It's like nothing is harmless. You know what I mean? It really isn't, because your body is picking up everything. So let's reading on further in the text. So there is no question but that anything that touches the sympathetic nature of man has within it the power to build up or destroy the physical body of man. Bam, right there. It has the power to build up or destroy the physical body of man. The daily record of fatalities from heart trouble bears evidence of this. Sudden shock, terrific loss, particularly loss of love, it says, particularly loss of love. Oh my goodness. Fear, that false evidence appearing real, that fear that does not exist, because we know what's happening right now in society. The soulless ones, okay, the ones that think that they are in power because some of us have given them the power over us, which, let me tell you something, I do not subscribe to in any type of way. Do not give them the power. Ben took my power back. I do not live in fear. Fear does not exist. Don't even know what it is. Okay? But it says particularly loss of love, because what is the quote that I say at the end of every show? Does anyone know that? Does anyone know that? What's the quote that I always say at the end of the show? No worries. No worries, brother. No worries. But does anyone remember the quote that I always say at the end of the show about fear and love? Because where there's what? Where there is love, there is no fear. Where there is fear, there is no love. Those two things cannot exist within each other. So when someone comes to me with some fear-based something, I completely dismiss it. Like, what? What? It doesn't, that doesn't exist in my world. I don't know what you're talking about. Like, what? Scared, fear, I shouldn't. Why? Who said? Is that what source says? Is that what I know to be true? True? The truth, which is what? Truth cannot be shaken. It can't be changed. Truth is truth. You ain't messing with that in any type of way. You're not messing with that. So I'm like, get on out of here with that fear. Get on up out of here, because it doesn't exist in my world. So fear, all kinds of fear, are some of the thoughts which quickly manifest in the body of man as heart trouble. The remedy for this is love. Ooh, if I could scream that from the mountaintops. The remedy for all things is love. Love is the greatest cure of all. Yes, love cures all. Love conquers all. Isn't that the phrase? Okay? Love conquers all. That's it. There's no doubting that. There's no but. What if love conquers all? It didn't say some things. It didn't say sometimes. It didn't say maybe. All. That's what it says here. All. Perfect love casteth out fear, and a divine fearlessness, a singleness of purpose, a determination to think only God-like thoughts should be used in treating heart trouble. That's it. Only positive thoughts. It's like, I had to take a deep breath on that, because my heart was like, let's breathe on that. It's like, sending all that good, newly oxygenated, circulating blood through the system. And then when you breathe deep, you feel it. You don't feel that tingling in your head? I feel all tingly up in here. This is like, yes. Breathe in that love. It says almost every case of heart trouble can be traced to thoughts of strain and inharmony. Sometimes to disappointment or disagreement with a loved one, or to a feeling of loss from financial reserves. A belief that we can be in a position from which God absents itself. And remember, I always say, however you reverence the source, the unity, the almighty, the everlasting, the ever giver, the love, the ever giving lover. Woo! Because that source is a love. It's a lover. Yes. So we reiterate a remedy for all heart trouble is love. Are you loving on yourselves? Are you loving yourselves? So many of us out there love others so hard, and we forget to love our own selves. I tell people, if you loved yourself as hard as you love the next person, place, or thing, your life would change. Because let me tell you something, along my journey, that was what I lacked. And you could not tell me that I didn't love myself, because I walked around like, I'm good. Everything is good. My whole life is good. Meantime, I was a complete mess. A mess on the inside. Allowing all types of stuff to occur to me, by others. Like I said, I was a heavy drinker. Okay, I used to have at least, I don't even know, 4 or 5 shots, you know what I mean, a night straight up, no chaser. You know what I mean? Smoking, all types of stuff. Had one narcissistic relationship after the next. Just allowing all types of things to transpire. But you could not tell me that I wasn't giving myself some love until the reality check, when I looked around and realized how depressed, body was in a mess. My head was all in a mess. Thoughts was all over the place. Just negative thoughts, negative energy. And I said, you got to get yourself together. You got to get your mind right. What does this mean for you guys? What does this mean for you? That you can do it too. You can do it too. All it takes is like that determination to say, I'm going to love me. I'm going to love me no matter if nobody else loves me, no matter if anybody else thinks I'm worthy of it. I'm going to love me. You look at how you treat that. What do you do for that other being? What do you do? And then turn that back around for you. I started taking myself out to eat. Okay, I started going to the movies. I just had a day with my own self. I had a day with myself. I used to tell like my friends, I used to have even what was called masturbation Sundays. Yes, I said masturbation Sunday. Self-love Sundays. I sure did. I'd go out, take myself out to eat, have a good old time, do whatever I wanted to do, had a grand old time, come back and have some self-love, because it was important that, again, all this energy that I was pouring into someone else, I had to pour it back into me. I had to show me that I loved me just as much, that I was willing to go all out for me. That I was willing to go all out for me and sacrifice it all for me. Because that's what it's about. Love. Loving on you. Waking up every day and be like, oh, hello, beautiful. How are you? Loving up on each, body part. Loving your hands. Like I said, I'm creating a workshop, especially for my sisters coming up. So look forward for that in the next month. So we're going to be pouring into all of that. But you got to love each body part. You really do. You got to pour and thank it. Thank each body part for its function. Be grateful for the function of each body part, because it's magical. It's magical. That's funny. Exactly. Oh, indeed, brother. Indeed. Would you say, wanna done it? Do it right. Do it today. Exactly. I'm like, listen. That's why people come to me now, especially the brothers. Oh, I can this and I can that. I'm like, you may not be able to do it better than I could do it to myself, But of course, it's always a beautiful thing to connect in that way with the divine masculine. But again, I wouldn't know. In the last 2.5 years of celibacy with me. Proud of myself, and no self-love either. Because again, that was a part of the journey as well. I had to take away all the distractions. In order to really love yourself, you got to isolate Isolate. Take away all the distractions. You know what I mean? And really come to and just be with you. I tell people, you can't be your best company, then you ain't gonna be good company for nobody else. If you can't enjoy your time with you, then you can't enjoy your time with someone else. And no one is gonna really enjoy the time with you. Unless it's gonna be these stipulations based upon probably some lower level, you know what I mean, self-serving reasons. You know what I'm saying? So again, love. You gotta love up on yourself. That's just my point. Love yourself in all aspects, mind, body, spirit. So in that, really taking the time to get your mind right, releasing those baggage. So you can release all of this and open up those chakras, you know what I mean? Body, get in touch with your body. Care, love your body, take care of it. Put good things in so good things can come out. Exercise, get that body going. A lot of you feel like all the time because you are storing in all of this crap. You got so much toxins and chemicals and swirling around in your body. That's why you're feeling all sluggish. Your body doing its best to work for you and to be as efficient as it possibly can. And you just feeding it all types of like death, all types of chemicals, all types of toxins. And then you wonder why it's not functioning properly. You wonder why you have issues, you know? You gotta love that body, love this vessel, and it's gonna love you back by functioning at its peak performance. You know, you can be out here like, hey. People be like, how many years you had on this earth? I'm like, I will be 42. I'll be 42 coming up in May. And I feel like I'm like 22. You know, hey, what does this mean for you? Again, you can do it too, and the sister can help you. Okay, let's move on. Let's get back to the text. All right, here we go. The heart is known as the center of love, which is the healing balm for every inharmonious thought. As we recognize our oneness with infinite intelligence, we are set free from uncertainty and pain. As long as we realize that our heart is a living center through which the love of the source of God, the everlasting, the all, the unity flows to bliss eternally. Woo! Not only our own lives, but the lives of all whom we contact. As long as we realize this, our heart cannot be troubled. Can I read that one more time? Can I read that again? What do we need to realize? The heart is the center of love, which is the healing balm for every inharmonious thought. It is the healing balm for every inharmonious thought. The heart. As we recognize or realize, okay, the real I, which does not have the veil, yeah? Take that veil away. Our oneness with infinite intelligence. Infinite intelligence is within us. We were created from the infinite intelligence, so therefore we are infinite intelligence. We just got to tap into it. You got to tap in. And you can't tap in when you're all over the place up in here. When your heart is troubled, you can't tap in. So we are set free from uncertainty and pain. As long as we've realized that our heart is a living center, living, live, meaning active at all times, it's live, through which the love of God flows to bliss eternally. Okay? Every beat. Just think of that as blissing. Blessing. That's what it is. Every time you feel that heartbeat and you lay, you like, oh, those are bliss. Those are infinite blessings. That's a chance every so often. 115,000 chances a day. Even though we couldn't catch up with the heartbeat too fast and figure it out. But we can gather up all of those and be like, that one time you take that breath, make it count. Put some energy, put some intention behind that thought into those beats that you gather. Yeah? Yes. Not only our own lives, but the lives of all who we contact. Yeah. So that love is ever flowing. You know, I'm so blessed and so appreciative when others be like, "Oh my gosh, your energy, I love it. Thank you so much." It's a blessing to me. It blesses me. It blesses me. That reciprocity of love is beautiful. It's beautiful, and when I tell you that I am uber grateful for the love, for the love, it moves me. It moves me. Uh, Funny, I think fellas need more the opposite and find a discipline. Yeah, right. I know the brothers do quite well with the self love, and the physical in that way. Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, they need to go the other way. Indeed, indeed. It's like let's go a little bit more mental. Let's check in up in here. Checking in here and make sure that this logic and the heart, which is the emotion, is balanced. Y'all do good on the self physical love. Indeed. So, 2 years for you as well, sister. Hey, look, high five me. Yes, yes. Some people be looking down on us like that's not natural to be so. I said, listen, it all depends on the intention. It's all about the intention behind the celibacy. You know what I mean? So it's like if you just shut down, if you've been hurt and it's like a punishment to you, like I will never, be intimate again. Yeah, then that means again, you got to go within. You have to go within and say, okay, what is it that I need to heal? Because I can't be walking around like this. Because again, those are trapped emotions. And again, your nerves and everything have received it and you're depressing your system. But if you're taking it from the aspect of, no, like I'm harnessing all this energy. And because people don't understand, sexual energy is one of the most powerful energies. Like love conquers all, but that sex energy. Oh my gosh, you can manifest so deeply. For all those that are out there self-loving, you really need to transmute that energy. So as you're loving on yourself, oh my goodness, use that to manifest what you desire. Have those thoughts of what you want to create. And in that climax of that orgasm, you should have your whole vision and everything of what you desire in that moment there. It should be there. You know what I mean? Like have it fully in your mind, and oh my gosh, you can just create so wonderful in that energy. So, just a thought, throwing some little jewels out there. Okay, so let's move on. It says another thought to be handled in treating any kind of heart trouble is the thought of age. The race suggestion carries a strong belief about the unpleasant conditions which may present themselves as one grows old, it says. But I don't believe in old. It's seasoned, with some seasoning on there. Among these is the physical condition termed hardening of the arteries, which hinders the free flow of blood to the brain. A treatment must be so formulated as to recognize that there is but one mind. Consequently, no thought of depression, fear, or suggestion of imperfection can flow through it. Man is birthless, deathless, ageless spirit, and this should be the conscious of our work. Yes, we are ageless. We are ageless. It says here, we are deathless. The soul don't die. This vessel we leave. And again, like I said, we go up, gather, look and see what we did that life. Like, okay. Boom. Then we come on back and do it all over again in a different vessel. So we are ageless, birthless. You know what I mean? Like we're not defined. There's no age. It's only age when you say it's an age. That's what people don't understand. There's no age. I'm such and so old. Who? I tell people, how many years of experience have you had? That's the way that I word it. How many years of experience in this life have you had? Because I tell people I'm aging over here like fine wine. I'm going the opposite direction. If you look at my pictures, you know what I mean? Go back some. You be like, you look older then. I'm like, I know. Because I look like when I got my mind right, everything else went with it. So, gotta get your mind right. What are you saying? In the Mituna Tir, it teaches to harvest, yes, and store your vital fluids. Exactly. I think, what is it? I think the ancients or the not the emperors, or what would they call them? Like I just want to say, for lack of better words, like, the kings of old, in ancient times, I think they had to learn how to retain their fluids. What was it, 50 to 100 times before they can become like the emperors? I believe. I forgot what book that I was reading, but yeah, they had to learn how to bring it to the forefront and then pull back that energy, because I don't say it is a gift, but what's the word I'm looking for? Cannot think of the word right now, but it takes a practice. It's a practice to do that, to bring it forth and then pull it back. And I practice that anytime that I did, have a partner, especially like during this part of my journey before, my 2.5 years of celibacy. I started practicing that, with my partner, even though like for man, like it's really, 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 really good. But learning the art of that, because then you learn what that energy feels like when you're pulling it back and bringing it back into self. You know what I mean? And again, transmuting that energy and using it to manifest. So yeah, it's awesome. Awesome. Yes, sister, euphoric. It really is. It really, really is euphoric. It's like that. You feel that rush of energy going back to the crown. And that's what it's all about. Bringing you those lower energies and uplifting them to the crown. Yes. It's like, ooh, it's fantastic. Okay, so we gotta hurry and get through this text because it's 46 minutes so we can get to the self-mastery tool. So it says, therefore, this leaves nothing to be born, mature, decay, or die. Yeah, exactly. Life cannot grow old. God in us and through us as us can only express according to its own nature, which is perfection. Woo! I told you guys we're perfect. We are perfect. It's that other stuff, that ego that be like, no, you ain't this, you ain't that, and you be like, ego, I know what your purpose is. I get you. I love you too, but not in this instance. So therefore, the law of our being is the law of perfect assimilation, elimination, and circulation. And it is the law of obliteration to anything unlike itself. So anything unlike love, it's not of you. It's not who you are. Anything that comes in and doesn't have a loving effect, it's not you. It's not you. Because it's not a part of you. It's not a part of you. That's some ego-ish coming in. Ego stuff. So, where am I? I keep losing my part here. A knowledge of our oneness with the God life, all about within us, that this life is governed by divine law and harmony. Within us, that our only need is to cooperate mentally with this law of life, which is the law of divine harmony. We only got to say, this is what we are, this is how we operate, and that's it. I am in harmony. I'm in complete harmony with myself, with my being, with my body. My body is completely harmonious. My heart is in complete bliss. With every beat, there is bliss. With every beat, there is more bliss. With every beat, there is the ultimate bliss. With every beat, it is the epitome of bliss. Yes. It says some physicians now claim that the action of the heart is a reflex action. And indeed, I would agree. I would definitely agree to that. And that the dilation and contraction of the heart is controlled by sympathetic nerve centers in the spine. Which that's what we talked about earlier. Yes, indeed. And while they say that will does not control the heartbeat, emotions do affect the heart, and sudden and unexpected grief often causes instant death. Loving thoughts for all will remove tenses, stimulate the heart into healthy action, and send new life to every part of the body. For blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see God. Woo! Blessed are those pure and light in heart, for they shall see God, which God is what? Love. The everlasting love. The all-power love. Harmony. Oh, man. Woo! That was good. That was real good. So let's get into these self-mastery tools. Oh, you've been in practice? Yes? Okay, brother, get your practice on. Yes. That's what I'm talking about. Build up that power. Because that's what that is. It's power. Power, power, power. So let's see. All right, angel, spirit, guides. What is the self-mastery tool that we need to carry forth in the week? Guess what? That's what I just pulled. That power. They popped that card right on out. Power. Woo! So your self-mastery tool for this week is power. And it reads, I am the master of my destiny. As a master, I am defined as being able to accomplish anything I can think of. I can no longer say I can't. That is powerful. That is powerful. Power. Let's read that again. Let's read it together. Repeat. I am the master of my destiny. As a master, I am defined as being able to accomplish anything I can think of. I can no longer say I can't. Ashe, ashe, ashe. What? Can't don't exist in my world? Because I got the power. Oh, and I didn't even pull the power card yet, but you got the power, power, power. Yes. I want y'all to walk around like, I got the power. Woo, I got the power. Take it back to the old school. What? Hey, yes. You got the power to be powerful, so go be powerful. Now let's see what the actual power card is. Ooh, power. What's the power? What you say? Oh, okay. Let's see here. The power to adjust. Adjust. What do you say, sister? Power, strength, and poise, mastering that. Yes. Yes. I'm like, say it again. Master that poise. Master that power. Yes. Master that peace. And in turn comes your purpose. Ooh. And sister, I don't know if you saw my Eventbrite that's coming up for the new normal for the women in business. Although I'm actually taking a different approach to it. It's not really so much what people think that it's just going to be, about business and the how-to. I'm breaking down that poise, peace, purpose, and power a little bit deeper, sister. So if you haven't signed up yet, might want to sign up for that. But our power is to adjust. And it reads, I see into being. I protect the dignity of others as I would protect my own. The power to adjust renews my life and upgrades my vision of the world. And what does this have to do with? What did I talk about earlier? Separation, right? We are not separate. We are one. We are one with everything and everyone that we come into contact with. And I always said before, the ones especially that are in our circle. Because we are all a mirror reflection. Those beings, we all signed up to be here together in this very time. This has all been mapped out by you. So protect the dignity of others because you're protecting the dignity of you. Those who like to walk past people, you know what I mean, that you see women getting beat down in the street, or maybe even men being, the brothers being disrespected on all types of levels, or you just see some kids that are unruly or maybe disrespecting the elders, and we like, it ain't got nothing to do with me. It has everything to do with you. That came across your presence, for a reason. And don't get me wrong, I have been privy to that myself, walking past. I'm like, I don't really have the time. I don't really have. It's coming back. It's coming back. When it comes back, you're like, ooh, you know it. You know when that come back, you like, that was that time, wasn't it? That was that time. Right. Can be the struggle you have to just right at a moment's notice. Yeah. Uh-huh. Absolutely. Absolutely. So the power to adjust renews my life and upgrades your vision. It really does. It upgrades your vision because it's how you perceive everything around you. How are you perceiving everything around you? Every being, every animal, heck, even the insects. I'll be out there swatting. I've gotten to the point where I feel bad if I have to like get rid of a bug, especially because I'm like spiders in my apartment. Like sometimes it'd be like a little spot. I'd be like, oh my god, hey, I'll be calling anybody. Like, can you take him and just like put him out? Because I live like my window faces the street, so then there's those huge trees out there, so they're always like at my window, and I'm like. I'm like, I don't want to hurt you, little thing. I know you deserve your life too, but if you come up in here, I don't know, we gotta go, but it's how you're perceiving everything around you, you know what I mean? It's like, yeah, sis, I'll be trying. I really do. I'll be trying. But it's like even the flowers, people run across the field, trample up the flowers. They're just trampling us. It's like, you are those flowers. We are the flowers, We are the flowers. Those trees, people look at me crazy sometimes. Go out there, I hug the tree. I'm like, thank you for your resilience. Thank you for reminding me of my strength, of my resilience. Because that's what those trees represent. Strength, grounding, standing strong, holding in that foundation, unmovable, unshakable. You might bend, get your willow on. You know what I mean? It's like, woo. But guess what? You bring it back to stand, right? Right? So it's like you have to look at things in a different way, out there. You look at you sometimes, like I said, we see our sisters and it's like, Lord, but then you gotta remember the time, it's like somebody was saying, Lord, you know what I mean, to you too. But it's because sometimes it's a lack of knowledge. It's a lack of knowledge. So be that being to say, hey, sis, maybe this is how you need to look at some things. Do you know who you are? Do you know that you are beautiful? You are majestic. You are divine. You know what I mean? And certain things is not, for everyone. And listen, you have that power within, It's called from, draw that poise because you are radiant, You're royalty. You're at the top of the chain here. You are the manifestor of all manifestor. You are creation. You're a mother, so, and the same thing, brothers, see other brothers, tearing each other down. Oh, he think he did, he got this, he did. Look, how about you ask a few questions? Like, look here, brother, how did you get this? Can I get some advice? Can I let a brother know something? How can I? Let me know. So it's like, instead of like, again, always, looking for the negative, you gotta see everything in a different mindset, in a different vision. You say, I know my neighbors be like, what's wrong with her? I be hugging. Right. Get out there, hug that tree, sis. Hug that tree. Let me tell you something. When the summertime come back, I'm going to be out there rolling around that grass. I'm going to be rolling, boy. Just rolling. Like, I birth all things that are beautiful. All things that are beautiful. Men, my brothers, you plant. You plant into the earth. You are the planter. You know what I mean? You are the giver. You know what I mean? You have the information. It's like you have to see the beauty. I tell people, I love the strength of my brothers, the resilience of a brother. Ooh, especially the brother that can build. You know what I mean? The way that their brain works, that logic, how they can put things together and make it work and make it happen. What? You come to the brother like, I need this. I need help. They like, what? Boom, boom, boom. Got you. What? Woo. I haven't drawn that one to me yet, but listen, I know he out there, he looking for me. But, in the meantime, it's about getting you together. Creating your own vision. Seeing clearly. Seeing clearly. Working on you. Working on you. Getting your life right. Getting your mind right. So, whew, it has been another wonderful session, and I uber appreciate all of you that worked through that mess that happened through Facebook, and I appreciate your support. Appreciate your support. So please like and share. And I know all of you guys that are in here already have subscribed, but send it off to someone else. Share the channel and say, hey, this will help get your mind right. This will help get your mind right, because it's that time. That time. We in the new earth. The new earth is here. And if you want to level up and listen, meet all the rest of us in harmony and in bliss, it's time to get that mind right. So you can tell them to head on over to the website too, www.summersolstice.com. And you see right there on the first page with the Get Your Mind Right session, hit that button. So I will. What do you say? Yes, build up. Yes, exactly. Says build our brothers up. Indeed. We must build each other up. We have to understand that on both sides of the coin, we have been torn down. And it's the system. The system was set up that way. And that's why it pains. When I tell you, it hurts my heart. And I'm trying to let my heart be troubled. Because I understand the perspective. And some beings are just, they're not there. They have not evolved to that mindset yet to understand exactly what's happening. But when I see this divide and brothers are just bashing the sisters left and right, and everything is the sister's fault. The world is bad, it's the sister's fault. Children is out of control, it's the sister's fault. The homes is destroyed, it's the sister's fault. And then here I have, my sisters on the other hand, that men ain't this and they not doing that. But but the funny thing is that I see more of my brothers tearing down my sisters than the other way around. You know what I mean? And again, I tell people, we are the only culture that openly talks about each other. You don't see the Asians like, yeah, these Asian women. You don't see the Europeans, yeah, these European women ain't ish. You don't see any other race of people, Indians, talking about their significant others openly, like terribly. Why is that? Because they know better. What does that help? People think that they getting pat on the back. Yeah, you see how I talked about her? And sister's like, you know what? That ain't helping. I tell people, you are the two things in a person's life. You are the help or hindrance. And if you're not helping, tearing down and constantly speaking bad, you're not helping anything. You just helping your ego along. That's what you're doing. You're helping your ego along, and you are trashing and tearing down everything else. So you are doing a disservice to the world, not even just your personal community, but to the world. Because as a whole, like I said, we are one. We are one. So it does not do any service on either side of the coin. You don't ever see a post with me talking about something, yeah, what a black man is this. Or you don't ever see a post with me like, yeah, you know what I mean, my sisters ain't this and that. And I'm just using black for, clarity. No, I mean, not even say clarity because that's not clear. So my indigenous beings, shall I say, you don't ever see me post about that. And trust me, I have been through some things with my brothers. But at no time do you see me bashing. You know what I mean? No, don't do that. Don't do that. Walking outside in the snow barefoot. Yes. We plant and the sisters are the nurturing. Yeah, that's right. And growers of the fruit and fruitness. Yes. Indeed. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much, Empress. Thank you. But yeah, so just basically build up. Don't tear down. If you don't have something kind to say, don't say it at all. Well, say it to yourself because it doesn't help. You're not being helpful. You're not being helpful. Truth is truth, and I'm all about that. I'm all about that. But the energy behind the truth must always be love. It must always be love and in kind. Like, it can be stern, it can be to the point, it can be tried and true, but the intention behind it has to be of kindness and of love. So I, again, appreciate everyone for tuning in, and we'll definitely see you next week. I love you guys. Always, always love, always sending you love, love infinitely. And remember, where there is fear, there is no love. And where there is love, there is no fear. Until next time, peace and blessings.